Hi, welcome to Everyone Can Jam. This is a place where everyone can learn to play music, and this is lesson 3 in a series about technique. I created it because I'm creating things to help people really just get ready to learn how to play the guitar. Sometimes we start before we're ready and it's frustrating, but there are some things we can do to get ready, and this is one of them. Developing your technique or changing your technique can be really important for people who've played for quite a while too. I think very accomplished musicians are kind of always refining and maybe fine-tuning their technique. And it does not have to be frustrating or difficult to change your technique. I have had to change my technique a few different times. I began playing guitar. I was self-taught, and I played quite a bit with my wrist out like this. And when I was a classical guitar student, I ended up tearing ligaments in here because I was playing like that. I had surgery. I got a bit better, but I was limited for many years. Eventually, I learned ways to change my technique and developed a new technique where I can progress and do new things on the guitar again. So that's been really exciting. So what I've learned about changing your technique as well as developing your technique is that if you have something really simple to do, actually executing the notes is not difficult or complicated, and you can focus on your technique, and you just do that whenever you practice. You focus on whatever you're trying to change or learn about your technique. Focus on that for a few minutes. It just takes 2 or 3 minutes at the beginning of your practice, and then you just go on with life, and eventually your awareness changes and those techniques start working their way into your playing, and they become second nature. When you're changing your technique, I'll just say for your more advanced players, if you have a variety of warm-ups that do different shapes and different configurations with your fingers, and sometimes you have to figure out for yourself what your technique is going to be. So anyway, let's go ahead and build on what we learned already. Lesson 1, we learned how to just start with something very healthy and just make one good clean sound with a good technique, with a nice straight wrist and thumb behind the guitar. We talked about being open-minded about where your thumb is. It depends on you. It's not unhealthy to go like this. That's actually how I play a lot, but that's me. If you want to develop a good classical technique, this is important. You can really get around. You can get around a lot on the guitar by pivoting on your thumb and having your thumb behind. I actually move my whole hand a lot because of my injury. Let's see. So what we're going to do today is start with finger number 3, the ring finger. Da-da. And see if you can just go straight to the ring finger with a nice technique. Nice straight wrist and a hand that feels strong. And then we're starting with the ring finger and working our way down. The reason we don't start here and go up is because there's a strong tendency, especially for beginners, if we start here and go up, as we go up, people like to go like that, and that wrist comes out, and that's not what we want. So start here, and there's a reason why we're not using pinky yet. Start here with finger 3 and work your way down. Now, we've been trying to do these exercises in a place that's comfortable. So let's try all the strings this time. I'm starting on the 6th fret. So I'm trying to just move my hand as little as possible. See, right just there, I actually adjusted my thumb a little bit. This is what exercises are for. Just see how it feels. First of all, if you're a beginner, and if 2 or 3 of the strings are easy and the other strings are hard, just stick with the easy ones at first. And then when you get really, you have a really good habit of using a good technique, then go to the strings that are a little more difficult. For somebody who's been playing a while, you should be able to do all the strings, but you may need to adjust your position of your hand a little bit. For me, I have my thumb in one place here. I still have my thumb in the same place, but when I get down to these lower strings, I totally change. But that's me. That's a unique thing for me. But that's something that I had to learn by doing simple exercises like this and focusing on the shape of my hand and my fingers and making sure everything felt healthy and strong and like I wasn't straining myself. And so doing these exercises gives you a chance to make those things second nature. And now when I experiment with playing new things, I can do that without hurting myself. So we're going to play it on different strings according to your ability. And we're still going down. Another thing I wanted to talk about is what I call the neck-hand continuum. I want to call it my favorite video. It's my first video and it's gotten a lot of attention. We talked about a technique that makes it a lot easier to play C chord, where instead of, this kind of shape we rolled over, use the sides of our fingers. And the same thing is kind of true. Well, it's not kind of true. It is true. If you're playing, scales, anything like that, but for us it's going to be this exercise. If you're down in the first and second fret, you're using that side of your finger. Now, just pretend the neck goes all the way up here. The sides of the finger thing changes depending where you are. If you're down here, it's going to be like if we just start here and move your finger, you're naturally going to land on the sides of your finger. If you start here and you put your fingers there, it's going to be the other side of your finger. We're not playing up here yet, but if you were, it's going to tend to be the other side of your finger. Right here in the middle, you actually are using more like, the middle of the tips of your fingers. So I call that, it just depends on where you are. So if you get down, if you're playing down here, you want to start using the side of your finger that's closest to your thumb. Or just put your hand here, plop it over, and just see what side of your finger it lands on. And you can try it according to your ability. If you're a beginner, make sure it stays easy. If you're more advanced and you're changing your technique, just pay close attention to what feels healthy and strong when you play in different places. So try that for now, a few minutes a day, and even 1 or 2 minutes can make a big difference. And then go on with life, and it will raise your consciousness and eventually your technique, and you'll just naturally play in a healthier way and progress faster and have less injuries. So if you don't want to miss a thing, please go to www.everyonecanjam.com and sign up for my email list, because I put things there that I don't put anywhere else. And please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and sharing. That will help make it possible for me to do more and more of this kind of work. So I will see you soon. Bye.